Hey everybody, this is the Urban Trucker Podcast. Remember to catch our next episode with Mr. Make It Happen, Highway Henno. I'm Ed Hennings, and you can find me at edhennings.co. Where can we find you at, Chrissy?
You can find your girl, Chrissy Blue J, at IM_Chrissy J, and that's CRISSY.
Remember to check us out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. Always like, share, and comment. Now it's go time. Let's go. With the influx of African American, Hispanic, and women into the trucking industry, the trucking industry has taken on a whole new look. We're here on the Urban Trucker Podcast to capture each and every story inside of each and every truck. We're seeing people from our very own community, single moms and the like, become very successful in the trucking business. That story of redemption, that story of overcoming the odds, that road to success that each and every individual took to be successful in the trucking business.
If you put the same amount of effort and hustle into everything else you do into the trucking industry, you're gonna make it.
Everybody want to be the boss, but they don't know the boss eat last. I believe that everybody can make it in trucking, but it's the way you go.
I let my business take me where I want to go.
The trucking game has taken on a whole new look. Hey everybody, this is the Urban Trucker Podcast, where we highlight the new face of this trucking industry. I'm Ed Hennings, and I'm here with my co-host, Chrissy Blue J. Today we here with a young man that's been in this trucking business for some years now. His name is Henry. We call him Highway Henno.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for being with us today, brother.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you for having me.
All right.
That's
You
one
gonna
thing I gathered up. That's what I do.
I'll take a dap.
Okay.
All right. Just jumping right in, man, like we do. How many years have you been in the trucking business?
So in October it'll be 4 years that I've been driving.
Okay.
About 3.5, as an owner.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And what is it that you do? Because there's so many things in trucking, and we just want to know what specifically is what Highway Henno do.
I go where the money is.
You go where the money.
I go where the money is.
I reside where the money is.
Yeah, something like, and it's my tenure in trucking, I have pivoted, you know what I'm saying? Some intentional and some forced, but I adapt, and that's
going.
Most definitely. Yep.
And I just want to say this to y'all. Me and Highway Henno, we was on the phone, man, a couple days ago. And I asked him that same question. I said, what you do in this business, man? And he said, I make it happen, man.
Oh, yeah. I make it happen. That's one and the same.
Say no more, man.
Yes,
say
sir.
no more. That's real talk, man. And, hey, that's what you got to be in this game. If anybody ever asks me about trucking, I say it's a hustler's game.
Yeah.
And this man definitely brings the energy of a true hustler, man. So,
Most definitely.
you know what I'm saying? Making it happen is what we got to do in this game.
Most definitely.
Well, before I say anything else, I want to share it. Today is his birthday. So I like to say happy birthday.
I appreciate
and we
it.
definitely appreciate you taking time out on your day to come spend with us, okay?
Yep, I appreciate y'all for having me.
That's what's up.
So, like you said, getting right back into it. As far as your company and what you do, you say you make it happen, right?
Right.
Go a little bit more in detail with that, about making it happen. Like,
Okay.
what are some of the sacrifices you've done? What are some of the things that you do to make it happen, actually?
Sacrifices. We don't have enough time to talk about
Give
sacrifices.
me your top two.
I mean, making sure others is straight before I am. You know what I'm
Number
saying?
one, okay.
That's the ultimate sacrifice. Well, not the ultimate, but it's it's a big sacrifice. So right now I have 3 trucks over the road.
Okay.
Running dry vans. I have a flatbed trailer too, but and like I say, I pivot. So when the money is on the flatbeds, hey, look, grab that flatbed trailer. We got this what we doing. But my experience, I didn't haul it all. I did dump trucks, flatbeds. I didn't haul garbage to the landfills.
Okay.
Dry vans, specialized. Oversized. But like I said, I make it happen. When it needs to be pulled by a truck, we can pull it.
Okay. Did you see a big difference when COVID hit as far as the truck industry with yourself? Like, is that when it just really, for you, went up? Or was it like, okay, yeah, this is really going to take you to another level, or was it already before that?
So I got in a year in trucking in 2019. I bought my first truck in
So
2019. April. I had some time before COVID hit to really learn how to backstroke. But when COVID hit, I was running flatbed. So I got on with a broker and we were hauling concrete. They call it precast. If you ever heard of that term, precast concrete. So all the Amazons, all the distribution centers coming up, they bring those concrete walls, the actual building, in on trucks. It's not built right there on site. They bring the walls in on trucks, and that's what we were doing at the time. So COVID didn't affect us. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until, toward the end of 2020 that things slowed down with that, and I had to pivot again. You know what I'm saying?
And just listening to you give out information about trucking, and that's mainly what we talk about. But it's one thing that that exudes off of you, even once was this before we even got started on the podcast, and that was confidence.
Right.
Yeah.
You walked in, man, and on the phone you said, "I'll make it happen." You came in, you jumped right in and said, "Man, look, we gonna get to the money."
Oh yeah.
So that belief in yourself, I know how important that is in anything we do in life. Even starting out at this young age is trying to get people to believe.
Yeah.
Before life starts chipping away at those dreams and those goals. And you seem to have a strong belief in yourself.
Oh yeah, unreasonable belief in myself. But to others,
No
you
doubt.
know what I'm saying. I have a reasonable belief that I can, do whatever my mind come up with, and I can't say that I've always had that. I can't say that I've always had that, but that belief. But when I start, seeing the results of, putting it on paper and start taking one step, you know what I'm saying, one step at a time, and really seeing things manifest, I'm like,
Yeah, belief comes through action.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Well, no matter what religion you come from, faith without works is dead.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's principles like that that I built upon.
That you built that belief.
Yeah, most definitely.
For sure, man. You can see it. You can see that that belief in yourself, and you taking that time out to face a challenge after challenge, and that believes that belief, because I did it again. Now you start believing.
Yeah, most definitely.
Like, oh man, I done pivoted 4 times in this business, and each time it looked like I was gonna fail, and I came through.
Oh yeah.
So now I believe, like, oh man, I got this.
And some people eyes, like, I was at the point where some people probably closed doors.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure. You know what I'm saying? I was at the point where people closed doors.
Yeah.
Paying insurance on trucks that's sitting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Had to pivot, and I heard talking about it before, being responsible for other people's lives, and the weight that brings. But I did that, and I bit the bullet. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, you take an L, turn it to a lesson and come back.
That's right.
That's what you're gonna have in trucking.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to flip them L's. You're gonna know how to flip them L's.
Yeah, you gonna take some. You gonna take some on the chin.
So if we're looking at new drivers and new companies, right? I noticed you said there are times that other people would have shut their doors, right?
Yeah.
At what point was it? What was something that was just right there where you was like, you know what? I'm about to walk away from this. Like, what are some things that was just? But you kept going, obviously. But what are some things that they should expect to go through, possibly, that may make them want to walk away, but continue to be?
When it's not what you expect.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When it's not what you expect the unexpected.
Okay.
And especially nowadays, because with the way that media is, information is moving so rapidly, so everybody is like trucking, but they not talking about information before trucking. They just saying trucking before information. You know what I'm saying? And they just not doing their due diligence. You gotta really know what you're getting into before you get into it. Know yourself. Know what type of person that you are.
Yeah.
And what your tolerance level with your tolerance levels are with stress, you know, with chaos.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Being pulled all different kind of ways and sacrifice. If are you the type of person that can sacrifice and make make those adjustments when you in trucking? So I think that's one of the things. Expect the unexpected. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not. It at times it's gonna be what you think, what you got into it for. But at times when it's not, those are the times that's gonna make you or break you.
Yeah, and you're speaking on, I think one day we did live, Ed, right? And we're saying that people are putting all the jewels out there as far as the good parts, but we need to know about the bad parts, right? We need to know that it's not all, candy coated.
Nothing is.
Yeah. So, but how it's going out there, but we still want to be able to talk about the positive things and changing the narrative of how it is in the urban community. But at the same time, let them know that it's real. It's like any other thing you try to go into with entrepreneurship. But the biggest thing that I'm learning, that I'm understanding with the people that we've been interviewing is it's not about them, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what it's got to be. It's big. It can't just be about you, right?
Yeah. It's
got to be bigger than you. And if you're willing to make that sacrifice, then I'm sure you can push through this.
And early on, I knew that. You know what I'm saying? I knew when I got into this thing that it wasn't just about me. Because I know, like, the type of person I am, I know I'm going to be straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person, like, I know without a shadow of a doubt that in life I'm going to be good.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm the type of person that I'm looking, for the betterment of others and the people around me. And that's one of my my driving factors. I'm trying to put my homie on, you know what I'm saying, and make sure they getting a A for the little time, the efforts that I put in to learn what I got. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, man. And I think the people that I've met in this industry and in this business that is successful, they have that mentality.
Yeah.
They have the mentality that none of us is as strong as all of us. So if I got 100 trucks, I only could drive one.
Yeah.
Right.
Delicate.
I need a team to get these other 99 going. So we already know, and going into an industry like this, in order to grow and scale, it's gonna take a strong team. It's gonna take, to look at it bigger than just myself.
You're gonna have to be a strong leader before you get to that strong team.
Look, the skill is making 3 men do 3 days work. You know what I'm saying? If you can get 3 men to do 3 men's work, you got a hell of a skill, man. Because it's hard in today's workforce to get people to do, not above, but just do what they supposed to.
Just the bare minimum sometimes.
Yeah, just do what you're
I
supposed
hear
to.
that, but I think that mindset is a product of people being just generally feeling unappreciated in whatever space they in. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Whatever space they in, because I think with my drivers, I put them in a position that I would want to be in. You know what I'm saying? Man, I think that's most important. Cause I know the feeling. You know what I'm saying? I know being in that place, and I know sitting in that truck, shifting them gears. Like, man,
Right. That's right. And
you know what I'm saying?
Chrissy made mention of that before about just if you in the trenches, you know how a person feels. That truck break down and they're on the side of the road.
Yeah.
You know how that feels.
Yeah.
Because you've been out there sitting on that
You're a better
road,
leader.
and the heat ain't working.
Oh yeah.
So when you feel like that, you know what your driver going through, and it make you move.
I did that.
Right.
And I did that. Blankets over my lap while I'm shifting gears. You know what I'm saying?
You've been there, so you can be a better leader for that. And so, listen, I know we to the nuts and bolts of everything, but let me pivot for a second, right?
Okay.
So you've been in it, you young, right? Right now we're going to truck stop moments, right?
Truck stop
So with
moment.
that, I want to know, what is the craziest thing that you've ever seen or heard or been involved in yourself at a truck stop? Because we done heard some stories now. Let's see who tops it. What you got?
It's a lot of stuff going on in the truck stop.
Tell us something good. Tell us something good.
It's a lot of stuff going on.
I want to hear the top story.
I guess the most wildest thing that I saw was a guy. He pulled a grill out of the truck. You know what I'm saying? He's selling plates. While he,
Get his money. Okay,
he's selling plates. You know what I'm saying?
He was on his hustle.
Yeah, he was on his hustle, man. He was selling plates.
Did you buy one?
No, I didn't buy no. At the time, I wasn't eating meat, so I ain't support him. But I'm like, man, salute to that brother. He had the grill.
doubt,
He was
man.
selling
Salute.
plates on
That's
this
what's
10-hour
up.
reset.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Right, that was
Money,
interesting.
yes.
He on his reset, so he got to rest 10 hours.
Yeah.
He wasn't resting,
out
he
there
was still
grilling.
moving. He wasn't
Them
moving in the
wheels
truck.
was still turning.
He was still moving, man.
Yeah.
For real. I honor that, for real, man.
Most
That's
definitely.
respectable. That's
Speaking of
respectable.
reset, when you guys speak on the 10 hours, right? Educate me, right?
Okay.
Is there a certain amount of time that they expect you to literally sleep, or you just have to rest? How does
Yeah,
that?
I mean
how does
that's
that work?
one of them tricky things in in trucking, just because sleep and rest is so important. That's it's just with any job, they not governing what you do when you not on
Yeah.
the clock.
Yeah.
You just have to not be on the clock for this
Yeah.
amount of time. So they don't care if you was playing basketball for your
Okay.
hours. You supposed to take that time to to sleep and rest. But it's not regulated. I'll say that it's not regulated. It's not
Okay.
like no truck driver. Let's see, if you didn't take your 8 hours of sleep, you gonna get a out of service violation or something like that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Something I don't know.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
should we
it's
have to
important.
play
Get your rest,
basketball?
man. It's
Yeah.
it's get your rest, man. There's all kind of stories about fatigue driving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Protect yourself and help protect others, man. Get your rest.
No doubt. No doubt.
And that matter, has there ever been a time, because I want you to tell our audience something that's really important in coming to the trucking industry, right? One of your main things that you feel like this is the thing, the key thing that you gotta know and understand before you go into trucking, right? But besides, has there ever been a time where you were just so tired, but you needed to get that load that you pushed through anyway, or do you just pull over? Do you stop? Like, what do you do?
So I guess in that conversation, speaking about 10-hour recess and all that, it kind of take me to different points of when I was in the industry, because I was at a point where I wasn't running an e-log. So
Okay.
the mandatory 10-hour requirement wasn't mine. So I'm running, I'm getting off 10 o'clock at night, driving 2 hours, and being right back up at 4 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Sacrificing, putting in time. So yeah, I have driven but I have driven, to get the money.
Yeah, to get you.
But not when it's not under the ELD mandate. I haven't,
Okay.
Went beyond that. I may, stay on that side of the law. I'm trying.
sure,
I
you got-
don't need none of them fines
For
and
sure.
penalties.
It's hefty fines I'm hearing about.
Yeah,
It's, they serious. They can get up there.
they know how to get it.
And you moving containers.
No, I got some driving. I got dry vans and flatbeds.
Okay.
I've run containers.
Okay.
I know that real yard.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of it.
Right.
Okay.
You're not a fan of the containers.
No, I'm not a fan of the containers, man. That's how that was my first job. I worked with that company for
Okay.
6 months. Shout out to them. They gave me, fresh out of school. They let me, tear their trucks up. They let me tear their equipment up, learn how to shift,
Right. You grind some clutches down.
Yeah, man. Hey.
Well, that's interesting. Real quick, why not a fan of containers? Just real.
The wait time in the rail yards, it's you waiting so much time. Some people got success stories. I ain't found mine.
It wasn't for you. Okay.
Yeah, I ain't found mine. I have done it as an owner as well, trying to find my lane. But when I'm like, no, this ain't it.
Yeah. So I hear you speak about the pivot.
Yep.
How many times you've pivoted and you making it happen. Like, have you every time you pivoted, has it been out of necessity? Like, this, or did you just see a better opportunity and say, you know what, I'm gonna pivot because I see I can, I see the arrow pointing up with this right here.
Yeah. So I mean, just naturally, if you on the grind, or if you have some kind of vision, or a goal in mind, outside of just being successful in general, you working towards that. So that's what trucking, like, number one, trucking for me is all, like, getting into it was a means to an end. And so the end that I'm trying to get to, it requires a certain level to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And so that's really what the pivot is. The motivation behind the pivots is getting to the level. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
If I gotta do a spin,
No doubt.
a crossover
No doubt.
or something,
That's
just to
right.
get to that next,
That's right.
that next level.
That's right.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I have been in a situation where I was, forced to pivot in a sense where I had, I'm locked in with a broker and things are going smooth, and then all of a sudden, the unions on the union drivers on the job sites, and they feel like we taking too much of their money, man. They kicking us off the job, you know what I'm saying? Losing contracts and things of that nature. And just and so that's one of the things that lessons that I got from it was not being complacent. You might have something that seemed like a sweet deal, you know what I'm saying, but always being ready for when things go sour.
That's right.
Because I was in a situation where I'm making more money than I ever made in my life. I'm growing, I'm scaling my company, and then figure it out. You know what I'm saying? We adults. You know what I'm saying? And so pivoting for me, I'm always pivoting. Like I said, I'm going where the money is.
That's right.
Trucking, I don't have no loyalty to one lane. I don't have no loyalty.
Where the money resides.
Yeah. Hey man, that's something I say. Find your niche and get rich. I'm trying to find my niche.
That's right.
Well, you're talking about brokering. We're talking about dispatching stuff. Tell us how important it is to make sure that you get that Raycon before you start moving your truck. Explain to us.
Oh yeah, so it's just like any business agreement or exchange. It's contractual. You know what I'm saying? If we exchange, if I'm a perform a service for you, I'm gonna have it in writing that you're gonna pay me a certain, whatever the terms of our agreement are. And so that's important to have that rate confirmation, not only because the load details are enclosed on your rate confirmation, but knowing that I got them, they signed it, they legally responsible to pay me for my services. So sometimes I might send the driver in a direction, just press for time, but I ain't, they can't put the load on my truck, until we have this binding contract. So that's just a part of the, trucking that you want to have in place. And I guess those are one of the things, like the rate confirmation is one of the things in contracted for, because I've been in a situation working with a broker where it wasn't, and that's one of the situations that I explained that it wasn't no contractual agreement. It's just we out here getting this money, and it's consistent. You know what I'm saying? But with a rate confirmation, they can't all of a sudden say it's no more work, and then we can't pay you. It is, go about your day. When it's a rate confirmation, if you show up to perform your services, and they can't fulfill that end of the duties, then they have to pay you what's called a truck order not used or a tow note. So that's important to have that rate confirmation.
New truckers, new owners, make sure you take that piece of information. It's so important. It's considered a contract. Do not start a load and be an hour or two in, and for them to find someone that's going to do it for a cheaper rate and then tell you they don't need you. Yeah. Make sure you get that, right?
Most definitely.
Okay.
I've had loads canceled, and I hope that wasn't the reason behind it. But I've heard that situation where a broker, they out for themselves, just like most people in this world.
So you can attest to what we've spoken on this podcast and in backroom conversation several times about how people in the industry, the trucking business, and any other business, the people in the suit and ties is just as ruthless, if not more, than somebody on the block, somebody in the streets.
And they have procedures and policies in place to, be ruthless.
Instead of robbing you with a pistol, they robbing you with a piece of paper.
Oh yeah, that's why. That's another thing important is we talking getting set up with these brokers that we talking about. They have something called a setup package.
Okay.
And this is basically like us getting to know each other in a sense. Your business getting to know my business. We making sure y'all ain't no shysters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Checking your credibility. But sometimes in this contract that you sign in exchange, the terms of the agreement may not be favorable to you. You know what I'm saying? They might slip in there, we got 90 days to pay, but at my company, I'm gonna give y'all 30 at the most.
Yeah. They
might have in their agreement that they had 90. So you gotta read your carrier agreements, when you getting set up. Know what kind of company and broker that you dealing with before you deal with them.
For sure, that's very important, man.
Don't click that button like we do on Apple. Just accept and acknowledge.
Right.
Read through everything.
Yeah.
It's your business, your livelihood. It's not just affecting you. It's affecting all your people that work for you.
Now I'm gonna be honest. I don't read through the whole agreement. I'm gonna go down to the agreement about them payment terms. I'm gonna go down to them payment terms.
Like, you know the part you need to go to that matter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, all right. 30 days? Oh, y'all good on y'all credit? Right. All right, come on, man.
And let the people know about that score for each company about their payouts, because some companies got a bad score.
Yeah, so They have it depends, like, so they have what you call a credit rating, and this is usually a credit rating given by what they have factoring companies, and so these credit ratings is basically them factoring companies are keeping track of how long it take these brokers are taking to pay the money that they owe. You know what I'm saying? Factoring company is somebody is like a loan shark in a sense. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. That's it's not that bad on the rates, but that's essentially what they are doing. Yeah. I do work with you the broker. Right. Our terms of the agreement is 30 days before you have to pay me. Right. I need my money now. Right. I bring the rate confirmation to you and say, look, he owed me $2,500. Can you give me $2,450? She like, okay, I'll wait the 30 days and I'll take that $50 off the top. That's right. I'll collect that $2,500 and give you the $2,450 now. That's right. That's what that's what factoring company is. Factoring does. Okay. Right. So you got to think if a factoring company got 100 to 1,000 people doing this, and they getting $50 off of each one. That's a lot of money. Yeah. You know, it don't sound like much, but you know it's a play on numbers. And that's what trucking is. Trucking is all about 2 to 5% is the rate of what they get per load. That's right. You know, depending on the agreement you negotiate. You know, between 2 to 5%, but. That I can't remember what was that. We're circling back. What was we talking? What was the question she asked? Just something important to share with our viewers on going to the rate confirmation. That's how I get to that. That's how I got to. You was talking about that. Yeah. And the name of your company is Cottage Grove Hauling Services. Cottage Grove Hauling Services. Yeah. Y'all remember that, man? Yeah, man. My man Henno, Highway Henno, he out here doing his thing, man. This the Urban Trucker Podcast. We here highlighting the new faces in trucking. Highway Henno is on the podcast with us today, man, and we just getting to it, talking about how he got started on this journey into trucking. He done pivoted multiple times, and he's here with us today, talking about his latest pivot and the things that he's been doing recently in this game. And we just want to know what's next. What's next? What's coming for Highway Henno? Man, I got a couple things brewing. I'm looking to get into heavy hauling actually. So I kind of got a thing for like moving specialized freight. You know, hauling the flatbed. Loads that you got to have some skill to get out there and move. Like, and I think that it's important for people that look like us to really get in there because it's one of those things where they don't think we can. We underrepresented in the specialized freight business, and this is where the money is. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's not subject to the woes of the economy. You know what I'm saying? As far as like how much food people ordering. You know what I'm saying? Your pockets ain't filled by the woes of the economy. It's aligned with like infrastructure and building and construction. So that's what's most important with trucking is aligning yourself to certain niches and understanding how those niches are affected. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, dry van or general freight. You know what I'm saying? Moving food that's affected by the economy and how consumers are going out spending. You know what I'm saying? And specialized freight is one of the things, like I say, that people of color are way underrepresented. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a skill. It's a skill. You're not just driving. You got to understand the weight of your load. You got to understand how to get out and secure the load. You know what I'm saying? It's that next level all around the board. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Government contracting is another thing that I'm interested in. So I've been doing my research. I've been putting things in place. Getting those certifications like minority-owned business. Those kind of things. I want everything that's due. You know what I'm saying? I want everything that's due to me. Give me, give me everything. While I'm here, give me everything that that I have access to. Yeah, and it's all about that leveling up, that next level. Yeah. Because I read once a while ago just that, like I'm from Wisconsin. Okay. I'm a Packer fan. A lot of people in Chicago, they Bear fans. Right. So we argue who gonna win, the Packers or the Bears. But the real winner is the person selling the tickets. Right. We argue who gonna win. You know the winner is the man selling the tickets. He don't care who win the game. Right. He set up both. He want us to keep fighting and arguing. He gonna win regardless. Yeah. So that's kind of like the next level. He just want the game to happen. He just want the game to happen. He just want Ali to fight Frazier. Right.
He don't care who win. So that's the next level. That's the next thought. So I understand the government contracts. I understand the specialty loads and stuff like that that's coming up, man. And I hope and I wish you nothing but the best
I appreciate
as you
it.
go forward in this game, man. And it brings me to a segment of the show in which we call the Final Mile Minute. And in this Final Mile Minute, man, interviewing Highway Henno, it just brought this to my mind. It brought to mind his confidence and his growth into that confidence through action, through him facing challenges and adversities. It reminds me of the caterpillar turning into the butterfly. The moment when that caterpillar starts to go into that cocoon, the moment that caterpillar starts to make that transformation, he goes through a struggle. He goes through a great amount of struggle to make that transformation. And if somebody walks up and grabs that caterpillar before he's making that transformation and try to help him through that transformation, that caterpillar is gonna die. So just know, sometimes when you see somebody going through that adversity, they facing those challenges, the worst thing you can do is step in. Most of the time, we gotta pull back and allow that person to face that adversity. Because once they face it and they come out on the back end, they're gonna have more confidence. They're gonna have more belief in themselves because they did it. But if you don't allow them to do it, you will 9 times out of 10 prevent a caterpillar from becoming a butterfly. So this is the Urban Trucker Podcast. I'm Ed Hennings. This is Chrissy Blue Jay.
And I'm
we got
Highway
my man,
Henno. Highway Henno.
Highway Henno. Once again, man, check us out on YouTube. Remember to like, share, and comment. We on Spotify and iHeartRadio as well. You can find me on where? edhennings.ceo on Instagram. Where can you find you at, Chrissy?
You can find your girl, Chrissy Blue Jay, at IM_Chrissy J. That's Chrissy with no H, CRISSY. And always, always, always remember, always allow your smile to change the world, but never allow the world to change your smile.
Highway Henno.
All right.
Where can we find you at, brother?
Highway Henno on Instagram. Drive for Cottage Grove. That's the company.
Man, there you go, man. Cottage
It's
Grove,
inspiring,
man.
man. Young,
Appreciate
you're
it.
getting it in.
I
I'm
appreciate
inspired.
it.
Man, appreciate you, man.
Appreciate
Thanks for
y'all
having me
having
on the show, man. It's go time, y'all.
Yes, sir.